let's talk for a moment, okay? This morning, right? I wake up, I pick up my iPad, and I'm browsing. I'm going through, and I see that Apple has done one of their press release things where they release new stuff, kind of like this guy, the 6th generation of the iPod Touch, where they just randomly release stuff in the morning and, sell it. So today, Apple did another one of their wonderful press releases, and I'm a little irritated with what they did with this one. So let's talk about that. This morning, and not to say that these aren't great deals, because a lot of them are, they did some interesting stuff. So, number one, I want to say that some of the deals are really, really good. It's the one that's the biggest announcement of it all that just irritates me a little bit. So, my absolute favorite color is red, and you see where this is going. I got the jet black iPhone the day it was dropped. The shiny, beautiful, scratchable iPhone. And I picked it up the day it came out. Because I love this color. I wanted a black iPhone again. I did the gold iPhone for a while. And I wanted my black iPhone. And this one just looks so slick in this shiny black finish. And I was like, wow, I really need this. It's a beautiful black phone. And I got it. And fast forward about 6 months, and it's March, and I go on Apple's website this morning, and this sucker comes in red. And I was like, that's my favorite color. Why would you do this to me, Apple? So, if you were curious, it looks a lot like this, but it's an iPhone. So I was very disappointed that my favorite color finally comes on an iPhone. Anyway, so beautiful phone, absolutely beautiful phone. It's there's only one thing I don't like design-wise. I'll go straight to that. So the back of it looks beautiful. The Apple logo, they did something a little different. The Apple logo, unlike on the iPod line, the Apple logo is a silver color. So it's a red back like this, and then the Apple logo really stands out and looks super nice. So that's cool. It looks almost like this does down here. The iPod Touch loop down there on the bottom looks almost like that color against the red. So it looks really nice. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. It looks great on Apple's website. But then you turn it around to the home button. And this is where it's just like, Apple, you missed a chance at having such a beautiful product. So if you look at the iPhones, and now I have a black one, so it makes it harder to show you this, but the ring around it is color matched on all iPhones. So the gold iPhone is gold, the rose gold is rose gold, the black one is black, the silver is silver, and the red one is silver. So I was like, that's a little unusual for Apple to do the... Now it's the same configuration as it is here. White display, red back. So, and it looks nice, it looks nice on the iPod, looks great on the iPhone. I just would have liked to have the Touch ID ring be red. I think that would have been a very nice selling point. It would have looked excellent. But I'm a little disappointed that they didn't do that, just simply because it would have looked so nice. Okay, moving on. Apple also decided that it was time to drop the iPad Mini 2. Which has been on their lineup since it came out in 2013. So it came out and they dropped that. That one happened. Now here's the great thing. They also got rid of the iPad Air as well. So there's no more iPad Air, it's just iPad. 9.7 iPad. It's a little thicker than the iPad Pro and the iPad Air. And more or less, the iPad Air 2 gained weight and gained the same processor that is found inside of the iPhone 6s. So it's a little faster. It's almost the SE update to the iPad. It's almost like the iPad SE minus rose gold. So let's take a moment to talk about that. The iPad lineup is really weird now. So there's the iPad Mini 4. This is, if you go on Apple's website, there's the Mini 4, the new iPad, the iPad Pro, and the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. Let's go through the list in order from, let's see, what way are you watching this? I don't know. We'll go in order from this hand to this hand. So on the Mini 4 is now $399 for a 128 gigabyte model. That's an excellent price. I'm not going to lie. That is a really, really solid price entry for the iPad Mini. Here's the problem. For less money, we're talking $329, you can get the full-size iPad, which is a great size. The 9.7-inch iPad, nobody's complaining that that is too big. You can get that for $329, and it's a faster processor. So you get a better device for less money. I really don't understand that. You get less memory, granted, I'll give you that. It's a quarter of the size in terms of storage capacity. But otherwise, it's a better iPad. Faster processor, brighter display, and yeah, I mean, that's the extent of that, to be honest with you. Moving on, you got the iPad Pro 9.7. This was unveiled a year ago. Still the best iPad. Out of all four of the iPads, the Mini 4, the new one, and the Pro and the bigger Pro, this is still the best one to buy, the iPad Pro 9.7. Move over one more slot on their website, and you've got the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, probably the worst iPad on there. The Pro and the Mini are sitting in a very awkward position, as they're both a year and a half old. But the Pro is huge, and it's missing the features of the smaller one. And you're paying an extra $100 for that. So looking at it, there's really three iPads to choose from. This guy, wait. If you want the big one, wait. The cheaper one, very, very competitive price point. It is going to be right in there. I feel like it's the most competitive product they have. It is just $100 more than an iPod Touch, and it's even cheaper than an iPad Mini. And I love the iPad Mini, but the iPad Mini is having a hard time differentiating itself from an iPhone 7 Plus. The bigger iPhones are killing it because they're roughly the same size, to be honest. If you look at the two, they're practically the same size. You can see the case here. Very similar in terms of size. 7.9 inches versus 5.5 inches, not that big of a difference. This can do everything, this can do everything. Why get the Mini? So, for roughly, I want to say $70 less, I think is what it is, without looking. I want to say it's $70 cheaper. You can now get a 9.7 inch. So granted, it's not going to be palmable like this one, but it's 9.7 inches, which is a great size for an iPad. And you get all the features of the iPad Mini and having an iPad. So you still get the split screen multitasking, which is wonderful. I've used it on the iPad Mini 4. It's great. You can swipe over and have split screen, split view. All iOS 10.3 things are coming with it. It's excellent. I love it. Moving on from that, there is the fact that the iPads are now the cheaper price point competing with cheaper devices. So Kindle Fire, I want to say, launched a $50 tablet, which is unbelievably cheap. That's even cheaper than an iPod Touch. It's like the price of an iPod Shuffle, and you're getting a full-on tablet. So very competitive that Apple's bringing that price down. It's the cheapest iPad ever. They've always started at $499. So you get a better iPad, but it's a little bit thicker, which is a little odd that Apple made it a little bit thicker. It's not unreasonably thick. It's still thinner than the iPad 2. It's about the same thickness as the original iPad Air from 2013. So if that's going to kill you, I would say it's the same size as the older Minis. So there's no question. This is not a thick device. This is a very thin tablet. I don't complain. I think it's a great price. I think the new iPad, just called iPad, is definitely the best thing that they launched today. In a side note, I think that their color schemes are getting out of hand. because the iPhone 7 has these beautiful black tones. So they have this one here, which is amazing to look at. That shiny jet black just looks stunning. I absolutely love it. But then the matte black, I was expecting them to carry that over to the other devices. The SE didn't get it. It got a 128 gigabyte update, but no matte black. Same thing with the new iPads. I was expecting the new iPad, which is all it's called, the one that was launched this morning, to come in this new black color, which is reminiscent of the original iPad mini, the one I'm holding here from 2012. So I was expecting it to be more of this shade instead of the space gray color. I think I have a space gray one around here. So this is the color of the new ones. They are all this shade versus this classic shade here. So I was expecting it to be a little bit darker, like the original one there. Instead, you're going to get this color here. So if that's something that's going to kill you, again, this is the original one. Got iOS 6 on it. But, you know, it's up to you. When you look at it, you're still going to get that black front, but that's the color that it's going to come in. It's going to be this more silver shade for the black model instead of that darker color like you're going to get on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. I don't know why they went down that route. If I was Apple, I would have matched the colors up a little bit better across the lineup because they came out with all these new colors. Excuse me. Yet the iPads don't get it. The new MacBook Pro didn't get it. So the iPhone 7 has a matte black that's true black, as well as the shiny black one, the jet black color. It just surprises me that they haven't brought the matte black. I wasn't expecting jet black to be on anything else. But I was kind of expecting the dark space gray or the matte black to kind of carry over. But they're still doing that light shade of the gray, and I don't like that. I think that if they're going to go for that black color tone, that all their devices need to offer that. They can offer space gray as well. Nothing wrong with space gray. I would just like to have seen both color options. So, the last thing they did, they launched a new app called Clip. It's basically Snapchat meets iMovie, and you can share it on Facebook, more or less. It's a little creepy. It goes through your contact list, so if you have a friend in it, you say their name, say you say Bob, and you have Bob in your contact list. It's like, oh, you might want to share this with Bob. Or facial recognition, it sees my face, it would say, oh, you should tag him in this because he's in this. So that's a little creepy, but it's also really cool because you have more control over it than you do with other things. And I believe you can go anywhere from 30 seconds up to an hour in terms of length. So that's definitely a major selling point right there, especially if you want to go with YouTube. I want to say Clip is going to be great for vlogging channels and stuff if you want to vlog. But I think it restrains you to a square, so no matter what you do, this is all you can see. So that's something that I thought I'd bring out there. It's going to be available at the same time that iOS 10.3 drops, so it should be out in the coming weeks, I believe. 10.3 comes out in a couple of days, or about 10 days from now, so it should come out the same day. It seems like an interesting concept. It is an interesting concept. It'll definitely be something that I'll be trying out. I'll put it on an iPod, put it on my phone, check it out for you, show you how it is. Apple also announced some new bands for the Apple Watch. The nylon bands got some updates. There's some new sport band colors, I believe, and a few other ones. The band options, they now have the Nike bands where you can buy them individually. So if you wanted those Nike Fuel Band things that they had from the Apple Watch Series 2 that came out a few months ago, you can finally buy those individually. And they also have a new color. It's like black fusion with lightning. It's like black and lime green. It's a very cool color. It's new. Every band, every option for the bands, the leather ones, all of them have different color configurations that you can choose from. So go scroll through all the Apple Watch bands. They're also new, kind of overshadowed by the red iPhone, the iPad, and the SE. The SE, same four colors. The SE did not get that red option for some reason. Again, the red only came to the iPhone 7. So the red did not trickle down into iPads or iPad minis or iPhone SE. None of that, just the iPhone. So anyway, that's the video for you. I'm looking forward to seeing that red iPhone in person. It's going to look great. There's the red iPod Touch. Very excited to see how they look side by side. I believe it's a little darker. Going to be really cool to see them side by side. New iPad, really exciting. A little bit thicker than this, about the same size as this. But it has great internals, great price, great specs. Very excited to see all these new devices in person. Of course, as soon as they come out, well, I won't be getting the new iPhone due to the fact that I have the 7. I will go down to the Apple Store and check it out as soon as it's out. Excuse me. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'll be getting it. I'll be taking my iPod Touch down there. We'll be comparing them side by side. So again, not going to be in the studio with that iPhone 7 in red, but I'll be taking down my Jet Black and my iPod Touch, and we'll be doing a comparison in the place. I might also take down the iPad Air 2 so we can stack it up against that new iPad that came out. Also, now would be a great time to buy an iPad Air 2 if you're looking forward to it. Anyway, this is becoming a rather long video. I just wanted to share all this with you guys. It all came out this morning. So if you're looking forward to it, go out there, check it out. It's really interesting. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.